So today I'm going to be guiding everybody through a savoring practice. It's another mindfulness practice that's really good to do if you struggle with what's called anhedonia, which is essentially a feeling of like lacking joy, um, having little to no interest in things that even maybe you used to enjoy. Um, this is also, it's common in those who struggle with substance use. It's also common in a lot of other mental health conditions as well. Um, Basically, it's just this kind of feeling of meh, right? Like the feeling of just going through the motions and really not having any fun or joy. Um, and the reason why I want to do this savoring practice today is because I found that one of the most frustrating for things for people when they are in any kind of recovery is that feeling of just going through the motions, that feeling that maybe you feel disconnected from people or you feel like you're just a robot, and you're really not participating in life, you're just surviving. And this practice essentially exercises that part of the brain, um, that is affected in addiction, um, part of the reward system, essentially. So, what we're doing in this exercise is we're activating our body's natural reward system and essentially getting high on life, right? So think back to maybe a time before you were really struggling when you could feel happiness and joy about like little silly things. I mean, take a look at kids, right? They're really good at this where you hand them some kind of fidget or, something silly, something, they see a stick and a rock and they have a blast and have fun, because they're able to be in the moment and enjoy that kind of simple pleasure. Some things that really stand out when I was first learning about this savoring exercise and how important it is in all kinds of recovery is that in substance use in particular, um, poor savoring and low self-efficacy tended to have a direct correlation between the rates that people would return to use. So, as you can imagine, if you're not enjoying things, and I always tell my clients, what the heck is the point of recovery if you can't have fun, right? If you can't enjoy things. So it's not a huge stretch that people would have a return to use when nothing is fun, nothing's enjoyable. Um, in alcohol use and opioid use in particular, that anhedonia can last for a significant amount of time after, um, one stops using. Other substances, it can as well, but those two in particular tend to have longer lasting effects. So, if that's kind of where you're at, this is a really good exercise for you as well. Um, And so basically, what we're going to do is we're going to try to increase our sense of reward that we get from pleasant events, pleasant, good things. Um, Being able to stop and smell the roses, essentially, and actually enjoy that and feel good. So, if everyone wants to take a minute and get kind of comfortable, I like to do this exercise outside. I find that to be really helpful, but honestly, you can do this exercise anywhere you want. So go ahead and find comfortable position, kind of settle in, and we're going to take just a few moments to practice some mindful breathing. So we're going to feel free to close your eyes or keep them open, whatever is most comfortable for you. We're just going to Pay attention to our breath, not trying to change it, just noticing sensation. What is the temperature of the breath? Is it hot, cool, cold? What does it feel like as your lungs expand and as they contract? And just take a moment to really allow yourself to enjoy that breath. Now, once we've done this for a few moments, we can open our eyes and allow them to settle on an object in front of you. Not staring or focusing hard on that object, but instead allowing the gaze to soften, the eyes to unfocus slightly. As if you are not paying attention to the sharp outlines of the object in front of you, but instead allowing them to blur and merge and fade into the background like a pattern. Not trying to tease apart where the object ends and its background begins, but instead seeing where the object comes together with its background, part of one whole pattern. The pattern may gently shift in and out of focus, blurring and moving softly. And colors and light and shadows may naturally blend. That's right. Just allowing the gaze to soften, as if somehow the distance between the eyes and what is being looked at begins to close. And for a few moments, perhaps experiencing a closeness with the object, as if there was no separation between the yourself and the object that you're looking at. You don't have to understand. You don't have to do anything at all, but gently return the attention to the seeing. And when the mind wanders to thoughts, feelings, or memories, that's okay. Because that's what minds do. They wander. Gently returning the attention to what you are seeing. perhaps eventually becoming aware of the space around you. Just noticing whatever experience occurs without judging it as right or wrong. Enjoying the colors and textures, shapes and shadows of the object and the world around you. Using your senses as the gate to pleasure and enjoyment. As if you could drink in the joy from the beauty of that object, letting it nourish you. Savoring the beauty and the feelings that come from it. Becoming aware of the positive feelings in your mind and body as you savor your experience. Focusing your attention on these positive feelings and really absorb yourself in them without holding on to them too tightly or trying to make them last. Just allowing yourself to be open to and to appreciate this positive experience in this moment, this one moment. Focusing on the positive feelings and allowing them to deepen and fill the entire space of your awareness. And when you're ready, closing your eyes and allowing the focus of your awareness to shift from the feelings of the breath in the body to the sounds around you. As your attention moves to your ears, they can open and become more receptive to sounds as they occur. There is no need to strain to try and hear quiet or distant sounds. Instead, allowing the sounds to be as they are, however you hear them. Experiencing sounds as pure sensations. If the mind wanders to thoughts about the sounds, such as labels or attempts to identify a sound with a word, or to judgments about liking or disliking the sound, gently bring the attention away from the thought and back to the sound itself. Becoming aware of the tones and textures of the sounds. Becoming aware of the silence, of the space between the sounds. And eventually, becoming aware of the space around you. You don't have to do anything at all, but gently return the attention to notice the pure sound itself. Becoming aware of the tones and textures of the sound. Perhaps allowing each sound to touch you, to go through you, as if the sound were a part of your body. Using your senses as the gate to enjoyment, as if you could drink in the joy from the beauty of that sound, letting it nourish you. Savoring that sound and the feelings that come from it. Becoming aware of the positive feelings in your mind and body as you savor your experience. Focus your attention on these positive feelings and really absorb yourself in them. Without holding on to them too tightly or trying to make them last. Just allowing yourself to be open to and appreciate this positive experience in this moment, this one moment. Focusing on the positive feelings and allowing them to deepen and to fill the entire space of your awareness. appreciating and being grateful for this experience. Enjoying this experience for a few moments longer until the eyes open and you see and hear in your usual way. Okay, guys, I hope that was helpful. Feel free to do this exercise a couple times and let me know in the comments what you noticed, how you were feeling. How did you feel before you started the exercise? How did it feel to do this exercise? And how do you feel after? And feel free to maybe put in a takeaway. Like, what can you take away from this experience here today? Hope this was helpful. Thanks for coming.